Hello. I wasn't planning on filming anything this morning, but I'm about halfway into The Lies of Locke, Lamora, and this book is really masterfully done. There's something that Scott Lynch is able to do where he can perfectly anticipate what I as the reader need next. So like, I remember towards the beginning of this book, I was like, okay, what I need right now is to know like what the big turn is gonna be, what like the pitch on the back is gonna be. And then like 30 pages later, there it was. And then I started to think to myself, like, okay, I need to meet the like antagonist character in a certain way, and that's exactly what happened. This morning it happened a third time, which is how I know it's intentional and purposeful and masterful. Is I was sitting here and I was like, okay, I need the backstory on this character, and then I got it 30 pages later. I think there's something extremely masterful when you can string along your reader in different pieces of knowledge and different pieces of the plot, and then like deliver them what they need exactly when they need it. It's like there's another character here that's shrouded in mystery, and I was thinking to myself, like, I would like to know more about this character, but it's not like urgent right now. And so I can feel that Scott Lynch is like stringing me along, and my urgency for getting that reveal will grow and grow and grow right up until the moment when he reveals it. And I think that's the biggest thing in this book that I am noticing. Also, it's just like, it's a delight. It really is. I really enjoy the way that the characters interact with one another. I think that it's got a really nice sense of real human relationships, but also like mature human relationships. So I think books in this genre of like, we're following a main character and his like band of like allies, can often do this thing where the main character seems invincible or like doesn't know how to back down or is always smarter and always cleverer. And there are scenes when Locke is, you know, always smarter and cleverer, but then there are scenes where he's just like humbled and just completely not that, and he recognizes his limits, and I really appreciate that. Also, boys who say sorry to one another, big. I think the characters in here have a lot of emotional depth that like they can go from like, you know, the like very masculine like banter about like sexual conquest on one page, and then be like caring and thoughtful and understanding of each other's like complex feelings on the next page. And I think that's a huge asset to this book. It doesn't feel, it's like, even though there's not that many women in the book, I don't feel like I've been disinvited from the story as a like feminine person, as I do in books that have more of that like driving masculine strength in the center of it. So like, not to be too judgmental, but Name of the Wind is very much the antithesis of this book. And I think all the things I didn't like about Name of the Wind, which is mainly like the complete idolization of its main character, and the way that all other characters are treated as just like accessories to the main character, and how, especially like the women, this book, it genuinely feels like all of the characters have like real complex relationships, and that Locke is like, though the leader and though the clever one, like he's also able to identify his limits and able to identify when he's wrong and able to step back and say, I'm in a bind and I'm gonna make the most of it and I'm gonna like survive, as opposed to like having to always one up everyone. I really appreciate that. So I'm gonna go finish reading. But I'm just so excited to be reading this book right now. An update. I finished this. I finished it. It's extremely good, as I expected it to be. I think the last like third was a rush of events, and I think I am cool. I'm good with that, but it was a lot, and I think I'm still like processing. But I really liked the ending. I really enjoyed how that book was as a whole, and I definitely recommend it to anyone. So, what's next? I'm also listening to an audiobook right now. I'm listening to The Triumph of Injustice by some authors whose names I can't remember, but I'll put up here. It's about taxation policies, and I know that sounds like dull or whatever compared to The Lies of Locke, Lamora, but I'm really interested in getting like some intellectual stimulation going during this time. So yeah, I think that book's like 6.5 hours, and I'm listening to it at 1.5 speed, and I think I have like 3 hours left, so like really 2 hours left. I don't really have a lot of things I want to get done this weekend, so I think that's just what I'm gonna do, is like try and finish that audiobook today, and then I'll start one of the books sitting over there waiting for me to continue it. Hello. It is Sunday morning, so April. It's Sunday, April 5th. Yesterday I spent the whole day reading, pretty much. I finished The Lies of Locke, Lamora, as you all know. I also finished listening to the audiobook of The Triumph of Injustice, so that I liked them both. I already kind of raved about The Lies of Locke, Lamora. The Triumph of Injustice is a book about tax policy. It's called, the subtitle, which tells you everything you need to know pretty much, is how the rich dodge taxes and how to make them pay them. Yeah, it's about how tax policy in the United States has gone from being relatively progressive to super regressive, and how the rich have dodged taxes for all eternity, and what methods we can actually enact to make tax policy fairer and more equitable for people. So if you're interested in tax policy, I know this sounds really boring. I don't know how to, if you hate rich people getting away with doing crimes, you would like hearing about this book, because the authors just kind of go off about like how rich people will keep doing crimes unless we stop them, and then come up with some ways that might actually work to stopping the rich people from just stealing from public coffers. Anyways, once I finished that, I then watched The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which I'd never seen before, and that movie's dark. That's like, sorry, I was in like a Victor Hugo mood, as you can probably guess, but yeah, that movie's really dark. Like, even the jokes are dark. There's like literal gallows humor all over that movie, and like the drama and the tension is like really tense and really severe. So I'm shocked that movie is rated G. Anyways, but after I watched that, I decided I wanted to pick up another book, and so I'm now reading Scythe, which is the first in the arc of the Scythe trilogy. I'm only about 60 pages in right now, so I've just met the characters and have seen them get launched into this new position, new world, and so I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm a little worried that I'm not going to like the book. Just a little worried. I think I will, hopefully, but I do think I struggle with books that are set in the future, and like that sort of speculative future book is kind of harder for me to really sink into and enjoy, so it's a maybe. I'm hoping I enjoy it though. I really think like the premise has been set up very nicely, and so now I just need to see where the characters are going to go with it and what the stakes are going to be. If you didn't watch my April TBR video, so the Arc of the Scythe trilogy I bought as a box set all at once on kind of an impulse purchase because it was pretty cheap. And I've been doing that recently, just like buying an entire trilogy in a box set and then reading them all. And so far I've done that twice, and it's worked out very well both times. And so like I've kind of committed to reading all three. So I hope I like this, because I'm going to end up reading the other two, which are Thunderhead and The Toll. Yeah, I think this one is younger than most of the YA. Like, it feels younger than most of the YA I'm reading otherwise, so I think I'm excited about that. And yeah, getting some variety is nice in there. And reading this I think will help set me up for, like, I think I'm gonna read the nonfiction book in my TBR next, which that one will definitely be just like drier and yeah, just drier in general, and so I'll need to really get something like light, I guess, to get me into that. And I'm sorry for calling this book light, especially because it's literally about like mortality. Like, the subject matter is not light at all, but the way the prose is, and the way the characters' thoughts seem, and how close the characters are to the surface of the book, gives it this more light, like this lighter tone as compared to like The Lies of Locke, Lamora, which feels very rooted in gritty. It's very, like, yeah, that's a good word to describe The Lies of Locke, Lamora. It's gritty. I think I like this so far. I'm hoping I continue to like it. You can hear my computer screeching in the background, which is the sign of a video processing so I can upload it, and because I can't use my computer, I'm going to read while that uploads, so. YouTube is still rendering. It's been a long time. And I was gonna stop reading at some point because my computer's gotten quiet because it's now uploading to YouTube as opposed to downloading to my hard drive, so it's being quieter. But this book is like really fast. Like I'm on page, it's only been like an hour and a half maybe, and I'm on page 333. So they're only about like 100 pages left. So I guess I'll finish it today, which, whew, I'm very happy. I do like it. There are some things that are like, that boggle my mind. Like the main villain of the story is horrid and I hate him, and at first when he was introduced to the story I was like kind of thrown off, and I thought that the book wouldn't go to the like lengths to kind of disavow him as the villain, but it has, and the stakes have been shaped really well. For a while I didn't like one of the main characters, and now I like them both just fine. I kind of think I'm almost going in an opposite direction, where like at the beginning, so there are two main characters, Citra and Rowan, and at the beginning I definitely liked Citra better, and now I think Rowan is definitely growing on me, and Citra has made some choices recently that are like not so great, but I still think I like them both, and I'm definitely interested in finishing this. I might take a break for lunch, and by that time my video will finally have finished uploading, so maybe I'll go like write or play The Sims or something, but yeah, I'll almost definitely finish this tonight, and yeah. Back at it again to tell you that I finished this book. I really like the ending, like a lot. I thought, so like for me a good ending, right, is a thing that makes sense and is satisfying, but is also unexpected enough that like I couldn't predict it was coming. Recently, like books that have done this sort of ending in a way that was deeply unsatisfying and like very expected, and so I really enjoyed this ending. The epilogue seemed a little forced, so I'm just gonna ignore that part. I'm just gonna pretend it didn't exist, because I get why it was there to set up the next book, but also I don't care and I'm not interested. Yeah, that was a good book. Maybe I will like actually do a full review on it when I finish the other two. I'm not doing that this month. I will read Thunderhead and the Toll once I'm done with the rest. Hello. Technically, now this is a secret, technically I'm not off of work yet. It's like 3:45, but the last thing I need to do today is upload something to Instagram, and the Instagram app I use is just not letting me do it. I'm very frustrated, so I came over here to this spot by my bookshelves to tell you that I finished the nonfiction book that I was planning on reading this month, called Automating Inequality. It is by Virginia Eubanks. This book is about exactly what it says on the cover. It's about how technology is changing to help society find new ways to manage poverty, and in manage also comes like govern and cut people off from resources and decide, just essentially like test out new policing technologies. So it was a very interesting book. I'm like, it's not exactly an uplifting, like positive read, but I finished it on my lunch break and I'm glad I read it. I think the stories that are in it are really interesting. I'm really surprised that it's not written by a anthropologist, because it really, like, she's a political scientist, and it sounds very much like she, you know, did like deep studies with people, and it sounds more like a journalistic, like anthropology, ethnography type thing. But yeah, it was pretty solid as a book. I think next I would like to read something contemporary, so I think I'm going to read Emergency Contact next. So looking forward to that. Hello. Today is Tuesday. I have started Emergency Contact. I'm on page 95. So far, I don't know. I think it's a book that I could either really start to enjoy or really not enjoy. I'm trying to reserve my judgment right now because I'm having a bad brain day. Where just like everything feels like it's on fire, and I hate everything I interact with. And so it's hard for me to feel like I'm really connected with this book, but I think that's also because I'm having a like mental blockade. Basically, the thing that I'm like unsure about is there's a couple of tropes in books that I don't like, and like because I just find them like cheap or uninteresting, or they like inspire my own anxieties, and I'm not a fan. And this book employs one of those very popular like tropes for increasing drama very quickly. I'll give it a chance to see where it goes. But it wasn't pitched to me on the back cover, and I'm not that type of reader. I'm not interested in this type of trope, and so yeah, I guess I'm just like stressed about that. So I'm gonna read a little bit more now and see what I think as the book continues, and see how that resolves, and hopefully it resolves quickly and doesn't drag out over the whole book, but we'll see. Yet again, I've done the thing. I was like, I'm not sure I'm gonna like this book, and then I started reading more of it and I liked it. Yeah, I finished Emergency Contact. I think I'm gonna need a little more time to like think through how I actually felt about it. I think in the end I liked it, and I think I liked both main characters quite a bit, and I definitely believed in their like friendship and eventual romance, because it is a contemporary romance novel. I liked the secondary characters. Something is wrong, and I'm not sure what it is. I think maybe being a writer, like, so the main character of this book, Penny, is a writer, and part of the story is her trying to figure out her own short story and how it works. And I think just being a person who is a writer, I think I needed more from that storyline than I got. This is the author's take on writing, and that's like totally legitimate, and I think just like it threw me out a little bit because I like am so familiar with my own writing process, and like it doesn't there's one point where the author said that a short story was required for every single class that this character took, and I just like laughed out loud, because like short stories are freaking hard and they take forever, and so like I don't know, I couldn't actually see Penny writing in a way, if that made sense. Like I could definitely see her like doing the plot work, but like I don't know. She was like asking enough of the questions, but I don't think she came to a resolution on that. I was like surprised when the book ends, I think is a good way of saying it. Like I was just like surprised when I turned the page and there were the acknowledgements. But overall it was a good book. I think I liked it. I'll probably give it 3.5 or 4 stars. I think part of it is like there are some content issues that like I really would have wanted I guess a warning of. Like I wish books did content warnings, you know? I think just like I'm in a bad headspace, like I said earlier, and so like I need to, I don't know, things are just like they hit harder than they need to, and so I think I'm just bouncing around a bunch, so I'll think about this more. It's like I'm blowing through books so quickly this month. I'm over halfway done with my April TBR, and I'm 7 days into April. So yeah. Hello, today is Thursday. So I didn't read on Wednesday. I've just been reading so much. I read like 4 books in like 6 days, and I think just needed a break. But I have like 20 minutes to kill, and I have The Masked City right next to me. So I think I'm gonna start reading that. That'll probably put me like 50 or so pages in. And so I'll make some headway on that now, and then probably go back to reading tomorrow, because I'm trying to write tonight for an extended period of time. But we'll see how that goes, because who knows with the whims of fickle creativity. So I'm going to start this now and let you know how that goes. It's like 6:56. I start work at 7. On Friday, April 10th, I figured I would wrap up this vlog and get it up for you guys to see today. Today, I am back into writing, I think, hopefully, maybe, we'll see. And I'm probably gonna read a little later this afternoon, but I'll start a new vlog when I make substantial progress. I think for this week I'm leveling out. I read like, I don't know, 50, 70 pages of The Masked City yesterday. It's taking me a little bit to get back into the world, but I remember being very, very fond of these characters. And so I'm sure I will, like, as soon as I remember how everyone fits together, it'll all kind of fall into place and I'll be into it. Yeah, I'm interested to see where the story, it's an in media res beginning, which means like it starts and you see a scene and then we go back to before that scene, and like we haven't caught back up, but I know we're going to like sooner rather than later, and so I'm just like, I don't know, interested in seeing where that like when that connection happens, because it doesn't seem to be like right at the beginning, but it also doesn't seem to be like midway through the book. So yeah, that I will probably read a little bit more of that today and this weekend, but I think my focus is going to be on writing, so I will, yeah, check in with you guys the next time I am reading and see how I continue on with finishing my April TBR like 15 days into April. It's okay, I have lots of books to reread, and I'm going on vacation next week, so I will be more mobile and with people more often, so. But take care, everyone. Thank you for sticking with my, 7 days, 4 and a little bit books. I hope this is interesting content. Let me know if you prefer like actual like sit down videos where I talk about one specific issue, or if this blog thing is kind of like soothing and stuff, because that's why I really like watching people's writing or reading and writing vlogs, because they're just like calming, you know. I'll probably still do them because they're interesting to me, so yeah.